Good morning. Happy Friday, all empathic, sensitive souls. It is finally Friday. It has been, for me, a very long week. On Monday, we pulled that Ghostland card again. Don't live in the past. Don't live in the future. Live in the here and now. That's why they call it the present, right? It's a gift. Don't waste your life daydreaming. Don't waste your life reminiscing, but try to be present. And that is so hard for me. I struggle with this. I struggle. Oh my gosh. I can't. I think for me, the biggest problem, I guess you'd call it a problem, is my brain is always active. I have so many tabs open. I always have a song playing. I do side quests. I start something, and next thing I'm shiny object syndrome or squirrel. It is just, it's difficult for me to stay concentrated in the here and now. Even right now, I've got a scenario running in my head about it's raining, like pouring down rain, and what shoes am I going to wear? I can't wear my tennies because they're going to get wet. I can't wear my leather shoes that I was going to wear because I've wore them several times this week, and I want to wear something really comfy because it's freaking cold out and wet. I'm going to have to turn my heater on at work. See, all these scenarios are playing in my head. And then it is today's Friday. It's going to be a busy day. My one coworker is still off. She'll be off through the whole month. Another coworker, I'm her backup, so she's gone today. So let alone doing my normal job, I now tack on added duties. And of course, our system for that portion is shutting down at 2. Ah! So I'm juggling balls. So all this worry is going on in my head. And what is it doing? It is stealing my energy. It is stealing my energy. Did I just say energy twice? I could. See? My brain is already in a different direction. I hop, skip, and jump. And I found myself even last night trying to sleep. I had to put on a guided meditation, somebody talking to distract my brain so my brain would stop juggling so many balls and calm down enough for me to fall asleep. And I do that all day. I have to listen to classical music because it distracts my brain that I can concentrate on what I'm currently doing. Even when I'm doing our month end where I have to data entry inventory numbers, my brain is always, even though I'm focused on what I'm doing, I've got scenarios running. A lot of that is attention deficit, where that's my brain. I'm scattered. But it's amazing how I can accomplish multiple tasks all at the same time and get them done correctly. Do I make mistakes? Well, yeah, I'm human. Of course I make mistakes. The phone rings and it distracts me from my rhythm and the flow, right? But worrying about the what ifs and worrying about the what happens is what really drains all of my energy. And I just, then I have a very hard time functioning, right? I have a very hard time not being triggered or overwhelmed by the littlest, my coworker looked cross-eyed at me kind of thing. So how do we stop that? How do we take more time for the here and now? I have found that I have to distract my brain with music. I have to keep reminding myself to breathe. Breath work for me is very important. I will take a very deep breath in, hold it, and then slowly release it. Sometimes I even count while doing it, but I can't do that and count while working because then I get, because I'm doing data entry. So then that's not, especially being dyslexic, that's not always a good thing. So there are some things that I do to help that. Now, by the time I get done with work and I drive home, my decompression time is my drive home, which is, that's okay. I don't mind that. Last night there were deer out at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Why? I don't know, but it really pulls you back to the here and now. You can't daydream while you drive when there's deer. Or yesterday morning, I had two cement trucks, and I don't think you could have fit a full length car between the two. How they can drive like, see, I'm on a side quest. I'm going to check out how much does a cement truck weigh. What happens if they're not rolling, the back of the truck moving, rolling? Does that mean that they're empty? See, all these different things my brain always wants to know. Now, the problem with me searching and finding out and Googling stuff is I never remember what I just Googled. Because it's important at the moment, but it's not important enough for me to remember. So a lot of times I have to distract my brain so I can concentrate and be in the here and now and do what I need to do. Sometimes caffeine helps because it helps me focus in. And yes, I know there's medication, but do I really want to take a medication? Not particularly. I have come to the conclusion that this is who I am, and I am trying to learn how to work within my own mindset and mind function, if that makes sense. So trying to be present is always difficult. I'm always lollygagging, I'm daydreaming, I'm reminiscing, and it's okay because I will reminisce about, especially this time of year, the fall harvest and mom shutting down the garden. And there's always those giant garden spiders, and we always used to try to catch grasshoppers and throw it in the web and watch the spider come out and wrap it up. It was fascinating. National Geographic special right in my own backyard. It's fun stuff like that. And I share that with my great nieces and nephews because they love to hear the stories. It helps keep my family members that have passed, it helps keep them alive because they see their pictures and they like to hear the stories. And it's funny because in my head, I can hear their voice. I know if I would hear it out loud, it'd be like, oh, wow, right? But it's a memory. It's like, for me, it's a movie. But I try to stay in the here and now. I try to pull it back in, gather all my miscellaneous threads that I have, or web threads, that's a good one, and pull them back together to keep focused in the here and now. Now, when I go out the door every morning, I have to say mask, I have to say keys, garage door opener, lunch bag, make sure I have all of my stuff. And yet yesterday, or 2 days ago, I forgot my mask. I'm like, I just said it as I walked out the door, and, right? Because I'm 5 steps ahead or 10 steps behind, one of the two. So trying to focus in, and I have to be very aware that I can't always be on autopilot. Even though on autopilot I wouldn't have forgotten my mask, but that's okay, I have spares. Trying to focus for me is difficult. I get sidetracked. There's side quests, there's things to do, there's places to go, there's people to think about. I don't necessarily see them, but I think about things. But that's okay because I can still function, I can still get my job done. And it's usually ranks pretty up there. It's not, I don't make a lot of mistakes, or I try not to. Let me put it that way. So how do I do this? How do I keep remembering to breathe? Take a deep breath in. The phone rings, the email dings, a different song comes on. Take a deep breath. You got this, you can do this. And I even do meridian tapping because it helps me to focus that part of my brain, to give it a reprieve that I can do my other stuff. This weekend, we're visiting a friend who is very ill, nearing end of life. And it's hard because there's so much grief. There's sadness surrounding it, but we're going with joy and silliness. So she's not overwhelmed with sadness and grief because she has her own family that, you know, they have enough sadness right now. So we are going with laughing and giggling and being silly and enjoying the time spent with her. Now, can I sit and worry about what I'm going to say? How, no, it's going to be in the moment, as it should be. And we'll reminisce and bring up silly things that have happened to us and enjoy the afternoon with her. I am taking the time to reminisce, and there's nothing wrong with that. Deep breathing, working my way through the grieving process. If you need help with that, as an intuitive emotional healer, I can help you process through that. I did a session with my sister in law. She was grieving the loss of her father. And she would cry. She would have crying spells periodically throughout the day to the point that she had a very hard time working. And after the session, it was a day or two later, how are you feeling? Well, I don't know if it did anything, she says. But I did notice that I only cry once or twice a day instead of every hour or every 10 minutes or constantly. That's a huge shift. And sometimes just having someone acknowledge that it's okay to be sad, it's okay to miss them, it's okay to cry, but it's also okay to live. It's also okay to move forward with your life. You'll never forget them, they'll always be a part of you. And it just helps. It helps to have a sounding board, it helps to have someone to talk to. If this is something you would like to explore, give me a call, drop me a message, drop me a comment, reply back to any one of my emails. I am here to help, especially this time of year as the holidays are drawing closer. I hope this helps. Don't forget to live in the present. Pull your thoughts out of the future, pull your thoughts out of the past, trying to stay present. Do some deep breathing, even if you just sit and I'm here, I'm okay, I've got this, we're good, and just tap. That's okay. It brings you in the here and now. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone. Get out, enjoy. We've got rain, we've got cooler temps. It is now official fall season. Definitely official fall season because it's October. We've got pumpkin spice in the store, pumpkin spice, everything. I love it. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye for now.